All right, guys, we're going to start off with the first couple questions here. So up here, all of these are having to do with PEMDAS. So I'm just going to do a quick reminder for us on PEMDAS. And so PEMDAS, it stands for, it's the order of operations. It stands for parentheses. And then we have to do exponents next. And then we have multiplication and division. And those two are actually together. So you do multiplication and division, you do it left to right. And so if you have kind of a multiplication and a division, you would do whichever one's furthest left first and then move to the right, kind of just like you read. And then addition and subtraction are the same idea. So those are kind of grouped together, and you would go left to right as well. Okay, so number one here, I don't have any parentheses. I don't have any exponents. I do have a division, so I'm going to do the 4 divided by 4, which is 1. So we have 5 minus 1 plus 2. And then I'm going to move on, and I'll do my addition and subtraction left to right. So I'll move on to this last step, which is addition and subtraction left to right. So it's going to be 4 plus 2, which gives you my final answer of 6. All right, so now I'll do this again for number 3. So we're going to start off here. We're going to do our, we do have parentheses, so I'm going to do those first. And so that's, I'm going to write everything else the same. And I'll do 5 minus 3, which is 2. All right, next up, I'm going to have to do, I do have an exponent here, so I'll have to do that next. So 3 to the second power is 9, because 3 to the second power means 3 times 3, 3 times itself. All right, so then next up here, I have a division, so I'm going to do my division next. So that's 10 divided by 2 is 5. So then I'm going to rewrite the rest of it, 9 plus 5. And so 9 plus 5 gives me 14. All right, now we're going to move on to this question set, so we're solving these equations. So on number 5, the first thing I see we want to do is combine like terms. And we always want to do this if they're on the same side. So I'm going to combine these two on the same side. So that's negative 3n and negative 2n makes negative 5n plus 5. Over here is still 15. And then we're going to isolate the variable. So I'm going to subtract 5 from each side. And so that gives me 10 equals negative 5n. And then I'm going to divide both sides by negative 5. So that cancels out. I get n equals 10 divided by negative 5 is negative 2. All right, next up here we got number 7. So on this one, anytime we got parentheses in one of these, we want to distribute that. So that's going to give me negative 2x minus 14 equals 2x minus 30. Now, next up, anytime we have variables on both sides, we want to get all the variables on the same side. So we can move them either way. I'll go ahead and subtract the 2x over to the left side, so these will cancel out here. I also could have added that 2x to the other side. So this one's going to give me now negative 4x minus 14 equals negative 30. Got to make sure you bring down that negative. And now I'm going to add the 14 over to this side. So these will cancel out, and this one, negative 30 plus 14. Now anytime we have a negative and a positive adding together, it's really subtraction. So they subtract to make 16, but the bigger number was negative, so that's going to be a negative 16. All right, so now we're going to divide both sides by negative 4. And that'll give me the negative divided by negative is a positive, so it's going to be positive 4. All right, next up here, number 9. So for this one, we are first going to want to distribute. Anytime you got parentheses, you want to distribute that. So that's going to be 8v minus 56. And then over here, what we got? I can't see that. Okay. We have negative 2 minus I'm going to call this 1v. And so once again, if you have variables on both sides, you got to move them all to the same side. I always like my variables on the left. You don't have to do that, but I like it like that. So then I'll cross those off, and these are both negative, so they'll add together and make negative 9v. And over here we got negative 56. All right, next up, I'm going to move the number over to this side. And so I get negative 9v equals negative 54. And then we'll divide both sides by negative 9, and v equals 6.